It's been 15 years in the making, but I finally got to play Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember renting this game from Blockbuster. Yes, Blockbuster. I'm that old. And I remember putting it inside my brother's PS2, hitting the start button, and only to be denied greatness because I didn't have a DualShock controller. I was so devastated as a little kid, but 10 years later, Kingdom Hearts 3 gets announced, and all of the games are released on the PS4. I was so excited to finally play a franchise that I loved, despite never playing a single one of the games. As soon as I loaded up the loading screen, all I hear is the beautiful sounds of Dearly Beloved. I could listen to that song for hours and still fall in love with it every time. Once I finally picked up the controller and decided to play the game, I dived into a beautiful world that I never experienced besides from Mass Effect. I'm introduced to the infamous song Simple and Clean. You run away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go to. It still amazes me how these games are almost 20 years old, yet the intros and graphics still hold up to this day. Side note, I also find it funny that Organization 13 is just the Disney version of Akatsuki. Like, even the leader of the group, Zenmas, is voiced by Mamoru Uchiha. Coincidence? I think not. If you want me to take it even further, how about this? Kairi, Riku, and Sora is basically Team 7, but they don't have a Kakashi. Well, I don't know, they might have one in Kingdom Hearts 3. Anyway, they have the power of friendship. An organization wants to use a power for a certain plan. The main villain uses the moon for their ultimate jutsu. Hearts, chakra, same thing. Prove me wrong in the comments. Sephiroth gave me nightmares, and I didn't even fight him yet. Every time he popped up in a cutscene on Hollow Bastion, I felt like Patrick every time the cops showed him the poster, because I knew I was not ready for him. This game delivered more than I expected after playing the first one. The combat in this game is spectacular, truly surpassing the first game's combat by a long shot. The fact that you wield 2 keyblades instead of 1 was enough alone, but the fact that there's so much you can do with the combat now is truly amazing. One thing in particular is the combo moves you can pull off with one of the guest Disney characters in your party. My favorite so far was Tron's, considering how easily I dominated a boss with it. Like, the combos in this game make you feel like a real Keyblade master compared to the first one, where you kind of felt like you were just getting the hang of being a Keyblade master, but in this game you feel like more of a Keyblade master. The use of QuickTime fighting events was so beautiful to me because it gave a new life for the combat. 1 minute you're hitting them with a combo, then all of a sudden you hit triangle and you're hitting them with a new move that you didn't even know was in your arsenal. Like, the battle on Hollow Bastion might be one of my favorite sequences in the game. The way it was orchestrated made it seem like it was the final boss. Like Sora, imagine the scenario. Sora alone on the battlefield, surrounded by thousands of Heartless. Just one big battle. If this game was made right now, they definitely would have ended it right there and made us wait for a sequel. Which is funny because we did have to wait a sequel. Man, what a time it was where we could actually have long games like this and not have to worry about companies hitting us with some bullshit DLC. One thing I love but hate in the game is the absent silhouette challenge, which is basically another excuse for the game to whip my ass before Sephiroth does and relive my PTSD from the boss battles and Chain of Memories. Like, they're basically remind me of the Valkyrie battles from God of War, but since Kingdom Hearts came out first, it should be vice versa. Okay, take back what I said about the silhouette of absentee being fucking reminding me of the Valkyrie challenges. Nigga, I just finished playing through the Cavern of Remembrance, and nigga, that shit right there was ridiculous. I have not witnessed something this freaking frustrating since a Souls game. Oh my goodness. I just went through hell just to get to the final part of the hallway, man. The last two sequences in the hallway is ridiculous. Oh my goodness, man. That crap literally pissed me off, man. I've raged so many times with that, man. I think that's the most I've died in this game as I've progressed through the story. I'm a level 67 and these niggas giving me the business. I'm thinking it's supposed to be a cakewalk, but it turns out I'm the one that got walked on because damn, what the freak. Like this, it was so freaking crazy, man. Like I've died and died and died and died and died, but in the end, I got through it, as you can see. And now, after traveling through all of that, all I get is more boss battles. Come on, man. You want me to battle all these people again? And this time they're supposed to be stronger than they were before? Come on, man. You tripping. I am not doing all of that. Okay, real talk, I probably might do it, but I ain't gonna talk about it because damn, that shit was ridiculous. Whew, man. Man, oh man, oh man. I had to take a break after that because that shit was ridiculous. And then not to mention Sephiroth. I haven't even gotten to Sephiroth yet. I fought him one time and then I was like, nah, man, that's it. I'm not even ready. I think I was like a 40 or 50 when I pulled up on him by accident because I was just looking for him because Cloud's in the area. I'm like, this nigga Cloud keep talking about Sephiroth. And I'm like, where's Sephiroth at? I know he's supposed to be in Hollow Bastion or the real place of the place called Reverie Garden or something like that. Like, he's like, I can sense him. I can feel him. Where is he? I'm like, okay, I'm wondering where he at too. And then I found him. Now, I got a couple hits on him, but it ain't proud worthy. But Sephiroth, you gonna get the business. Your time coming, man. Your time coming. I found it interesting that you play as Roxas in the beginning of the game. Because the way it's covered, the game is covered, it makes you seem like you're gonna be playing as Roxas the whole time. But when actuality, you're not. You're just playing him for like the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then you go in to be Sora. I really love how the game dives deeper into the story and with the people in the black hoods. Organization 13, aka Disney Akatsuki, is probably one of my favorite group antagonists that I've come across. Well, one of my favorite video game antagonists that I've come across. Because they deliver everything on the villain checklist. Each member can kick your ass and make you sweat like an introvert getting ready to make a phone call. Except for Demix, he sucks. Nobody cares about him. He should stick to rock concerts and after-show parties. After playing, or should I say watching, 358 and a half days, it makes you start to like certain members of the organization more. That is, if you haven't by now. Axel is by far my favorite. He always stood out to me, despite the many times I had to fight him in Chain of Memories. That still couldn't stop my love for the character. Zaldin was the first legit boss in the game, and boy did he piss me off. Not because he was difficult, which he was actually more annoying, because I couldn't kill him. I spent like 10 minutes trying to kill him, while he had 1 little inch of health left. If it wasn't for Mickey, I would be dead. Like, the boss battles in this game are so amazing when you come across the right ones. The new installment of the reaction segments in the fights make the battles even better. The battle between Sora and Roxas was truly heartbreaking because Roxas wanted the same thing as Sora, but couldn't due to the fact that they are one and the same. Not to mention, the final boss battle between Xemnas was so spectacular. From fighting the Blue Eyes White Dragon to an over-the-top reflecting battle where you have to control both characters simultaneously. Like, compared to the first game, this final boss battle decimated all over it. Like, Ansem was trash compared to this boss battle. Like, it is not even close. The reunion between Kairi, Riku, and Sora was so beautiful and heartwarming. I almost thought it was never going to happen, considering that's the type of crap that modern game developers would do to milk out a franchise. But once the credits rolled and Sanctuary started playing, a huge smile appeared on my face, because I knew that I just finished playing a masterpiece 15 years in the making. Immediately, I saw why people love Kingdom Hearts so much, and why people name their kids and pets after characters in the game. I finally felt like one of the boys, as people would say. For the first time ever, this is actually the first video game in history where I instantly wish I could erase my memory and experience the game for the first time again. Because, you know, there's a lot of classic games out there, and a lot of people say that they wish that, like, for even TV shows and movies and stuff, people say that they wish that they could erase their memory and replay it for the first time again. I think this is the first game ever to actually make me say that. I mean, I feel it with like certain games, but this game right here was so damn special that I literally said it right after I played it. I was like, man, I wish I could play this game for the first time again, because it was so spectacular, man. Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely one of my top 10 games ever, man. Like, this really is a special game that deserves the praise that it gets. The game felt like an anime, to be honest, because it kind of is an anime, but not really. It's a video game, but it's kind of like an anime. I mean, you can say the same thing for Final Fantasy too. That's like an anime, but it's a video game. My favorite world in the game is, surprisingly, the 100-acre wood. I don't know if it's just the simplicity of it and not having to worry about any Heartless or boss battles. Maybe it's just the fact that Winnie the Pooh and his friends just stand out from the rest because they're not fighters, but they're just regular talking animals going about their normal lives. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the true definition of a sequel surpassing its original. Everything about this game is top notch, from the score to the gameplay and to the story. The Kingdom Hearts franchise carries a lot of heart and soul with it, showing the power of friendship and the heart of the cards. Oops, wrong game, my bad. Kingdom Hearts 2 is an emotional roller coaster, but at the same time, it delivers the perfect balance of action, storytelling, and emotions. Long story short, it was definitely worth the wait. It is definitely one of my top 10 games ever. I would literally put it at number 5. Matter of fact, not even 5. I'd probably put it in my top 3. This game was freaking amazing, man. I wish I could play it all over again. This was only possible because of Hurricane Ida. So Hurricane Ida, that was the only good thing to come out of Hurricane Ida. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments. And also, do you think I should talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, after I eventually get to play it? After I eventually play it? Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.